I'm a little burgers. Hi, just another one today. Um, um, I'm looking at the world at the moment through eyes of fear and disgust, shall we say. Um, Obviously, everybody knows that there was that incident in Belfast. We've had the Novak incident. We've had many others, like Wayne Broadhurst, to say a few. There's also some of the rape gang victims that have been tortured, killed, um, and other sickening, disgusting things that have happened in this world. And even going way back to when Lee Rigby incident occurred. There's so much darkness in the world right now. This is just my thoughts on things. And why I'm disgusted, what I'm disappointed with in a lot of it isn't the politicians, because they're just as useless as they always have been. They say lots of words but no actions. They always have done, they always will do. Um, that doesn't sicken me. What sickens me is the lack of humanity, the decent bit of humanity. Why would you want to cause harm to someone? I can't grasp that. The only time I've ever hurt anyone is either in defense of me or a friend or someone else. That's the only time, and that's called defense. Perhaps I've gone too far, but it happens when you get caught up in the moment. But these people are so sick, so disgusting, they're choosing to cause harm to another human being. Where is the love and grace for that human being? Where's your dignity to them? There's nothing, is there? I just can't grasp it. I don't know why people do it. It's something that's not comprehensible by me. I would never see any harm done to any child. And any person that does, or allows it, or ignores it, and allows it to continue, you're just as bad as the perpetrator of the crime, in my eyes. But if you're doing something, trying to raise the voice, trying to raise this, look at Maggie Oliver, she tried to raise this numerous times. But how many other police officers didn't raise their voice, didn't push that moment because they were being told if you do that, you're going to lose your job, you're going to do this, you're going to have that done to you. They were being forced into it. But if you haven't got the character, the strength of character to say, no, that is wrong, you don't deserve my protection. Like, you're just being led astray. You haven't got the conviction to say no. I have, and I would never want to see any harm done to any child, any person, any disabled person, or anything such like elderly, the infirm, or children. They should be, any crimes done against them should be held higher with a bigger severity level against them compared to that of normal people, right? We've got the two-tier justice system where we've got a legal system that actually is overtly saying that it does want to do a two-tier justice system based off race and in the ethnicity, colour basically. Sorry, tongue-tied then. But based on the colour of your skin, well, no. The law, in my eyes, should always be the law. You are judged upon the rule of law alone. No, whether you black, white, pink, blue, purple, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what sexuality or what gender you are. It's all irrelevant. Under the law, it is the law. So that's how we should be judged. If you don't want to live by the law of the land that we're in, then don't be here, please. And that's everyone. That's even like me. If I don't agree with some of the laws that we have, I've got the opportunity to move to somewhere that might have the laws I agree with. But I don't. I just think leave people alone. Most people will get on perfectly well and fine. I There's always some bad pennies, and those are the bad pennies that we've got to pick out and sort out. It's like if you're growing a plant, yeah, you can see a weed growing up. What do? You pluck it out, you get rid of it. That's what we should do in law and in society. Put pressure on them to get rid of them. Yeah. Why are we opening our doors to people that have no respect, dignity, or humanity towards other human folk? That's disgusting. We don't want division. No, none of us want division. In fact, we want the reverse of division. We want to come together and unite. It's like our Scottish, Welsh, Irish, English. We can unite. And once we realize that we do have the power, that will make a big difference. And we need to unite as a people, as a humanity. Treat people with respect. Protect your own, fair enough. Don't go out hunting them. Don't go out doing whatever to other people that have upset you. Have the grace of God to just let it go. Just move on. Let's get down to stopping that happening again. Let's put pressure on the public services. Let's push the politicians into a corner so they can't turn away. So they have to do something about it. That's what we need to do, my little burgers. And that's not about causing division. That's about coming together and making sure we make the right choices. Politicians are always going to flip flop as much as they want, right? Like I said the other day, you got that Hannah Spencer, right? The Green Party one, right? Now, they was all promoting, oh yeah, we've got this plumber. She's a plumber. She's this. No, she's renewable, and she's like I told you that. That's a fluff, right? But there she is with this Gucci shirt on. Oh my God, it looks disgusting. If she paid the money that I saw for that, that woman has no taste. I'm really sorry, but that was a disgusting shirt. In my opinion, it's not flattering. It doesn't help anyone. That's an image based person. That's all she is. It's empty. Inside is empty because it's focused on the image outside. Those people don't have your best interests at heart. They have their interests at heart. So subconsciously, they have told you what they're like. If you're willing to look and read into that, that's down to you. But I tell you now, if someone is more willing to look after their image, they don't care about you as a person. The people that we want are those nurses that are in the NHS, right? That go in every single day because they love doing their job. But they're now being pushed out of the jobs because there's so many damn bullies within the NHS or people that just are not decent managers. They shouldn't be managers. They've never been trained. They don't know how to do it. They just want the position of power because they sickeningly want to control someone else because that's what they get the kick out of and the enjoyment. And I see it all the time. Yeah. The moment you get a nurse that cares, you can tell, you can see the difference, you can feel it. The moment you walk in the room, there's an energy shift, an energy change. You know that person cares for you. You can see they're stressed, but you can see there's a difference between the level of care that they're trying to give you and the carers and another nurse that doesn't care, that's only doing it for their job, or their or these managers. But that we digress on something else on that one. I was just getting back to this: the grace of being kind to fellow mankind. Be nice to others around you. You never know; they could be the person that helps you out. But just being friendly, being kind, being courteous, being fun, being open, being a kind-hearted person, and just talking to them could make a huge difference to them. And it costs us nothing. If you want to be a decent person, you can be a decent person. But if someone says that you're being nasty to them, ask why. Why do they think that? Why do they think I'm being nasty? It could be that you don't realize what you've done, but you need to learn from it. Because if someone's feeling bad because of what you said, could be you that is the problem. But the majority of people out there don't want to own up to that, do they? Um, but that's another one. But this one's just more of a rant. I'm just sickened by the darkness that's overwhelming us in the world today. We don't have to be like this, but we're allowing it. We don't need to allow this evil that's encroaching into everybody's lives every single day. It's like we're being manipulated and worked by a greater force than we can see. Not the greatest force, because it's scared of something and it's coming and it's going to highlight what they're like. Look at how much has been coming out these past few years. You look at all the sickening stuff that's been coming out, and there are good people at work behind the scenes that are trying to get this information out, but they've been stopped at most stages by others. And those are the people that need to pay the price. Right? Those politicians that don't make a choice, that don't stand up for their community, they're the problem. When we see someone who stands up and says no to the system, and the reason they're saying no is because they know it's morally wrong or bankrupt, morally bankrupt, they're the people you want to support. And those politicians are the ones we like. Those are the politicians that we'll have around us at every stage because they just want to help us. They're sick of the system itself. We've got civil servants that don't want to help us. We've got civil servants that do want to help us. So it's not just because they're in a role, they're working for the police, that they're a good person. It's not, because you get bad people in every position, in every job. Like, we got people in a Department of Work and Pensions that are fantastic, and we've got others that are useless. But you get that in every job. But we need accountability to them to stop this darkness and this rot to continue. Yeah. And it's the same as in the police force. You get good police force. And I remember there was that Dorset copper that lost his job for actually stopping a young lad with a knife. Yeah. But he got it because it's supposedly excessive force. It wasn't. But that's tarnished his name. Yeah. For a lifetime. He was a good man. You can tell that. Like, you had the manager or shop assistant in Aldi's or whatever it was that got fired because he stopped people breaking in. You've got a CEO of a shop that come out about when they makes a call to the police don't come for shoplifting. But if he says someone's been called racist, they'll get a response really quickly. How is that the case? How have we twisted this? Well, we haven't, all right? It's the left agenda, the liberal agenda, that has caused this division. And that's what they want. They want this division. They want that divide. The Fabian Society, look it up, what they want. They want change through unrest. That's what they're looking for. That's what they're trying to start. And we're all falling for it, or people are falling for it. Don't. They're manipulating us all the time. You look at the Irish situation at the moment where they're coming out and they're saying enough is enough. What are the politicians and all that doing? They're twisting it on them, aren't they? They're going, well, you need to stop doing this because that's what we don't need. We don't need this divisiveness. But they're not answering for all their choices, are they? They're making these choices to allow these people to come through. They're allowing these people to get to that point. So it's actually them that are the problem, but they're trying to tarnish you as the issue. You're just tired of this rubbish and you're standing up for what you believe in and you're done with their rubbish. If there's no ownership and there's nobody who's going to answer the questions, the people will make them answer the questions sooner or later. And that is what's happening. You had the Southampton protests, actually quite peaceful. They didn't do unrest. They just wanted the police to stand by them and work with them and say, yes, we made an error. But the Irish have gone past that. We know what they're like in Belfast. We know what they did in the 80s. I did. I grew up in the 70s. I was born in the 70s, so I'm of a certain age. I know that some of the sickening things that happened in Belfast, right? And there was lots. And it got brought onto the streets of London and elsewhere in the UK. We're used to that terrorist, that sort of stuff in this country. It happened all the time. But at least they gave us a warning. Sorry, we're ringing you up. Sorry, we're going to do this, blah, blah, blah. Here's our numbers, blah, blah. They told us, right? So they gave us an opportunity to make sure there was no severe deaths at the time. But we know that they're willing to go the next stage. And now, with the way the lack of empathy from our politicians or the leadership in Labour and some of the Conservatives, where they didn't make the right choices, are now coming to fruition where they're trying to create division. And this is why people are getting out there on the civil unrest, because they're tired and fed up of everything that's gone on. It's enough. They're done with it. And the people of the United Kingdom will stand up and say enough is enough. And they've been trying to say for a long time, enough is enough. But the politicians are not listening. You look at Stummy, he never listens. He never says the right thing. He does everything to wind it up, doesn't he? Look at David Lammy, like the plank. He's deliberately going out of his way to put a judicial system in so that you suffer for your opinions that are different to theirs, because they want to create that division. So they want to imprison you to affect the wider subjects in this country. That's what it seems like to me. Yeah. Now, whether it be right or wrong, I don't know. This is just what I feel, see, right? But I feel there's a power shift coming. Yeah, we're going through real adverse times at the moment and the true darkness at the moment. But I think the light is coming. We're going to be enlightened really soon, I think. I think it's coming. I think we're going to be empowered. But in a way that they don't want us to have that power. We're waking up to all this subversive nature that's happening all around us. All these sickening events that have happened awaken us to the disgusting nature of these people that are supposedly in charge. They're not in charge. They couldn't organise a pee up in a brewery, right? Because real people know how to organise, right? Why do you think most of the officers in the armies are never on the front line? Why? Because they're no good under pressure. Yeah. The only people that are making decisions under pressure are the working class people that end up going to war. I don't want to go to war for this country. It doesn't deserve me losing my life for them. What have they given me? Nothing. What do they give everybody else? Nothing. I've gone through the judicial system in the past, and it is biased. Never rely on a judge, because a judge is corruptible. That is the one thing I'll tell you. They are corruptible. One person. And if they have to go down the beliefs of DEI, they're already corrupted. They're broken. They don't have an imbalance, an impartial attitude. They're supposed to, by the rules, but they're not, because they've got to be seen to be diversity, equity, inclusion. This is the problem. It's already broken their beliefs straight away. A true impartial person looks at both sides of the stories, looks at the facts, looks at the law, and says, no, that's it. There should be a minimum for all certain crimes. So every single crime, there should be a minimum. So you rape a child, 25 years, really sorry, but you're done, because you don't deserve to be out. You murder someone, 25 years. They're an equal to me, just the way I morally see things. Right. But then you got shoplifting. Well, straight away, you should be in for a while. Or you have a system that teaches them not to reoffend. But we don't have that. We're supposed to have that in the prison service, but the prison is basically a shopping mall for them, because they go in, they learn new skills, they come back out, they carry on. Yeah, they get new contacts whilst they're in there. Well, come on. That's not going to help them out, is it? It's not going to help us out and the wider society. We could stop that. We need to stop the black marketeering going on, all the black market trades that go on. Yeah, let's stop that, right? Because that money's not coming into our country. That money's going out of our country. No wonder they have to tax us more and more, because they're not getting the money they need. Yeah, we've got businesses that are saying, I've got hairdressers down the road, like certain barbers that are opening up, not paying any money, undercutting me, and then these businesses are struggling to survive because they're having to pay their taxes. This is where the HMRC and others systems need to be in place to literally crucify them. We used to have investigators all the time that investigate these people. Why aren't we investing in them more? Because if we investigate them, you'll find that all these black market trades and businesses will be gone. They'll be shut down in no time. I know they've just done a new rule about, oh yeah, they'll be shut for so long. No, it's too weak. It's too weak. Literally get everyone in that shop that knows it's a corrupt shop, ban them from this country. You're banned. You can't even stay here. You're done. You're out. Whether you like it or not, you're done. You broke the law, you go away. Simple as. Yeah? Right? Why can't we just be that plain and simple? It's quite simple, right? That's what would happen to anyone else. I can't go to another country if I've broken the law. I can't go if I go in their country, I break the law, I have to repay, yeah, for it. So why is that not happening here? And this is where the darkness has affected more than just the people. It's affected our judicial system, our systems. These are the problems. Yeah. Let an idiot rule and you get idiotic processes. That's the issue. We've let idiots rule us for so long that they're not smart. Yeah. We're all smarter than them. I'll tell you that now, or the working class people, we're smarter than them. We figure things out a lot quicker than they do. Right? Why do you think car thieves know how to break into cars? Because they're cleverer than the actual car manufacturers. The moment they make a security system, someone's already learned how to break it. Why? Because that's the human way of doing things. Yeah, we've always been that way. That's how we've learned, developed, moved forward. Yeah, we see a problem, we solve a problem. But if you're not keeping on top of it, these problems become an issue. Yeah, because people then start learning to break that and break the next thing onto the next thing onto the next thing. But that's my little rant today, guys. Right, I've just darkened by things that are going on. Yeah, and us as the human beings, we need to change. We need to be loving, show grace to people. Yeah, it doesn't cost much to be kind, does it? To be kind, to be open, to be honest. Yeah, doesn't cost much at all. So, guys, my little burgers, my little rant over. All right, uh, let's be kind to people. Let's try and make a difference. We can make a difference and we will make a difference. We don't need to divide. We need to come together. Come to unity, join together, be hand in hand with your fellow humans on this planet. Let's work together for the greater good. And the greater good is so that we can all live in peace. Yeah. I know we talk about peace and harmony. It can happen. It's just the will of the people have to make it happen. But there's always going to be people that don't want it to happen. And they're the people that we need to control and pluck out like a weed. They are not going to benefit our system at any stage. So if they can't get along with peace and harmony, they don't need to be here. Let's deal with them. That's what the judicial system is supposed to be for. Yeah. But guys, have a great day. Have fun. Love you all. Buy my little burgers. Oosh.